Now the talking is over. We are ready to go here with the Pro 1 semi-finals. Shaun Chipperfield versus Tom Cousins. And we are underway. We're underway with a dry break as well. So Tom Cousins will get the first opportunity here. 50 minutes on the match clock. A race to 8 frames, as it has been all the way through the competition. And joining me on commentary is the number 1, Mick Keel. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.
We were just chatting about the night in general, and it's a good lineup we've got here for the semi-finals. But for everything Tom's achieved recently, he'll come in as the sort of marginal favourite.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you'd probably have Tom a slight favourite, but we all know how capable Chippy is, you know, on his day. Well, Tom will be delighted with that. This is just the opening that you want.
Yeah, no more clusters, no more work really.
Oh, wow.
He was a little thinner on that than I actually thought he was.
Yeah, could have gone wrong. Well, it has slightly gone wrong. Can he get into it enough to hit the red in the middle of the table? Doesn't really want to hit the yellow. Wow.
Did not see that coming. I know it's very early, and it just shows you even a man that's in the form that Tom is, maybe just a little bit edgy out there at the start of the match.
Put a quick one in there, didn't he? Like he's hit it 100 mile an hour as well, to be honest.
So his chance goes, and these reds are pretty good as well.
Yeah. Be ideal if the red on the bottom cushion passes top left as we look, underneath the yellow. Makes his work a little bit easier. Otherwise he's got a little bit of work to do.
Extension called.
I'm not thrilled with the angle he has on the one to the top right, so he's having a bit of a think.
I bet he can't believe he's back at the table though.
Yeah.
See what I mean? It's almost like a free go, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's only a bonus if he gets them out.
He's gone into that a fraction too much. You have to just take his medicine here and play on the red in the centre, I think. Wow.
Yeah, use the pocket.
You could say that.
It's a polite way of saying it.
Yeah, this isn't actually too bad, is if he can play. I actually like the one in the middle of the table here and just hold on the yellow and then play the one beneath the 8 ball. Take the cue ball all the way back up the side. Yeah, like that. Play the one next to the 8 ball and just draw it straight down. Now this has actually worked out quite well.
Very nice.
It doesn't want to be straight. Doesn't want to be straight. He can count himself a touch unfortunate there, because now he's going to leave himself a tricky 8 ball. I'd suggest probably somebody of Chippy's potting ability just takes his medicine here. You know, 1 or 2 players and maybe try and get a bit more angle out the shot to get a bit closer, but because he pots so well, I think he should just take his medicine. Yeah.
And he agrees with you.
Yeah, tester early. Does he cue it or does he thump it? Not easy, but I fancied him for it.
When he hit it, I thought he'd made it. A couple of swings in his opening frame.
Yeah, he'll be a bit disappointed only to have done as well to have got that far. I say it was a touch unfortunate to land straight on the red on the back cushion, to be honest.
Shane Thompson having a chat with the cue maker there, Jason Owen. A very intriguing opening frame, but it's going to go Tom Cousins' way. Both players having opportunities in it. I think we're going to see lots of finishes off the break in this match. Very few errors, but one apiece here in the opening frame, which means it goes the way of the Welshman. Whilst I mentioned out in the arena before, we have got the Challenger 1 final happening tonight. That'll be our third match on after our two semi-finals are out of the way. Connor Tracy is taking on Kyle Cope, and Jamie Burnett is taking on Tom Jones in the semi-finals. And it is currently 3-0 to Connor Tracy and 3-0 to Tom Jones. So 2-3-0 starts there. Really get the sense that Jamie is starting to sort of build as a pool player. He was a professional snooker player for years, and now he's having a go at the pool world. And back end of last season on the Challenger Series, he started to find some form, and he's starting off well here in the semi-finals, but all to do at 3-0 down. And there's the Tom Cousins break. It's always dangerous. Doesn't control the cue ball as well as a Jack Whelan or a Gareth Potts, but he does break with huge power and seems to get a lot of splits like this.
Well, I was talking about this earlier with Chris Mallin and Carl, and you know, when you see frames like this, there's like a lot of kind of what I call free frames. You know, like the sort. It's like serving an ace. You know, it's like 3 points.
It's what it feels like for you guys out there.
It certainly feels like it for me, because I don't feel like I break anywhere near as good as some of these guys, and you always feel like there's a little bit of something to do. You know, almost a little bit like kind of, you know, watching someone like Andy Murray or something. You know what I mean? You're having to work for every service game, you know, whereas the likes of Tom and one or two others just feel like feels like they've got a 2 or 3-0 head start.
Yeah, just because of it's not necessarily the number of balls they make off the break, but more the quality of the splits that seem to happen.
Without a shadow of a doubt, yeah.
It can go the other way from time to time, though, when one of the players would put in that bracket when it comes to the break. Jack Whelan, he had a match earlier on in Pro Series 2 where he just could not make a ball off his break. It does happen. Yeah,
and they just get left there for the opponent.
Yeah.
But like what we did the commentating on the Dunster and Potts match last night, you know, and Dunster just couldn't break the balls, in all honesty. Felt like I was watching myself.
Apart from it was a cut break version.
Yeah, just, you know, it's brutal at times.
It really is such a huge part of the game.
It's like somebody driving the ball 250 yards and Rory driving it 350 yards. It's a tough gig.
Playing a different sport.
Yeah, it is. But as clinical as ever.
Yeah, it's one thing getting the opportunities. You've still got to take them, and they're all there, and you've got to mind your work, which he has done. 2-0, break clearance to give him that lead. It's been a tough run for Tom through the field, and I sort of asked him in that interview, when he won last time we were here in Blackpool, he was just dismantling everybody with big breaks and very easy victories, but he was comfortably behind in his first match against Cameron Tolley and came back to win at 8-7. He was a ball away from going 7-5 down to Greg Batten in his second match. Greg missed that and it turned it round, and he was able to win that one 8 frames to 7. And then it got a little bit easier, 8-3 over Dan Eaton Lees, 8-4 over Dylan Leary, but certainly very much pushed in the early part of the tournament.
Well, I said to you, didn't I, after he edged that first one, I said, I wonder if that's kind of a sign for the weekend. And then
Yeah.
you rightly told me about the Greg Batten match as well.
You do, to win a tournament of this size and this nature, even for a player that's playing as well as Tom is at the moment, you do need that little touch here and there. You need to be able to sort of turn one around.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know Tom that well on a personal level. You know, obviously I know him. I've known him a few years, but you know, 7 or 8 months ago, you could make a case for like, wow, what's going on here? You know, it looked like he'd totally gone.
Yeah, it really did, though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they had a couple of challenge matches and didn't really kind of threaten winning, you know, whatever else. And, you know, these last 2 or 3 months, it looks the standout player on the circuit for me at present, you know. I'm not saying that that's not going to change, but...
The one big difference, and he'll be the first to tell you that, but the one big difference is he's really putting the time in on a practice table. He's very dedicated. He turned up at the Players' Championships and he's putting it in now. It didn't go his way that weekend, but he was starting to really put the time in, and he's built on that, and here he is flying at the moment. That was very unfortunate for Shaun. Good break, but landed on nothing. It's a pretty decent split as well, and just any ball on there, he would have fancied the job.
But you know yourself, you can put all the practice time in the world, and it's got to happen for you when you're out there. It goes in fits and troughs, does this game, as far as momentum and.
Yeah, that was. I actually talked to him about that at the beginning of the weekend. We were both here a day before the tournament started, and you say you're still putting the time, and he said, yeah, absolutely. And so it's you know, easy to do that when you're winning, but you've got to do that when it's not going your way as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the mental side of things. It's kind of, you know, sometimes it's easy to kind of down tools as well when things aren't going your way. You know, sometimes you're prepared to hang in there and things happen, and other times you think, you know, I just want out of there. There's a lot going on. Do you know what I mean? You know, there's more to it than just potting the balls, because everybody on the tour can do that.
Yeah.
You know, like I wonder what such as here. You know, Chippy's missed a sticky 8 ball, but he's kind of, for somebody like him, he's supposed to kind of get it because he pots so well. And then, you know, Tom breaks, runs out, and Chippy breaks and kind of gets a really bad roll. He's 3-0 down here.
Yes, how severe it can be.
Yeah, and with Tom breaking next, it could be 4-0 in a minute.
Maybe not.
Wow.
Big error. Big error there.
God.
I did think that when he gave himself quite a lot more angle on that than I thought. I thought he was going to go a little bit straighter on that, and yeah, it's a big error. He looks a little bit confused at what's just happened.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. It's as you say, I mean, he makes the clearance there, that's 3-0, he's breaking next, and the consistency he breaks and clears that, you know, in his own mind, that's 4-0, and that's not the match broken, but it's not far away.
I'll tell you what I do think. I don't know if this is the rustiness of the Christmas break or the New Year and whatever else, but I actually personally think this tournament, the standard's been relatively average. I've seen rarely anybody that's kind of consistently put a couple of matches together. You know, maybe Fitzsimmons playing some decent stuff, but like consistently, you know, most players have been fairly average, even in this tournament.
Yeah, I think a lot of players would say they're not feeling their absolute best out there. I mean, I've interviewed a lot of the winners that played on this main table, and yeah, even the winners have been a little bit down on the way they've played and the way they felt out there and stuff.
Quite happy to put myself in that bracket. I think I was absolutely woeful this weekend. I'll be the first to admit it. Chris looks in and out. Gareth hasn't really looked at it, you know, like Phil looks okay, you know, I mean, like from what I've seen, you know, I didn't say that.
Well, It has been a little bit like that, but we've seen a lot of the new players also stand up and put themselves in the mix. But yeah, I think there may be something in that. But well, let's have a quick look at the Challenger semi on the other side of the arena. And Jamie Burnett, who I said has suddenly started to find some form on the Challenger Series, is just really up against it. 4-1 down to Tom Jones now. Their race is to 6 in those Challenger semi-finals. So time left on the clock for Jamie, but can't afford to lose too many more. Tom Jones looking good for a place in the final.
Ball frame, Tom Cousins to break. Leading 2 frames to 1.
I'll come back to ours any second.
He's hit them well.
He has hit them well. And this is a man that really does hit them well. Oh, not this time though. Not this time. Doesn't deserve one the way he hit that break. Yeah, no surprise. Did not hit that at his best. So Shaun Chipperfield, another opportunity to tie the scores up, and wasn't very long ago you were talking about the potential for 4-0. Now we're looking at 2-2.
There was half an argument for playing the red into the centre there, wasn't there?
Red's definitely the better layout.
You'd have to think the middle one of the 3 yellows must go.
Yeah, it looks like it does comfortably.
I do like the way Chippy plays, though. He kind of gets on with it. He plays a lot of clever shots. You know, so a good shot maker, but in a different type of way. You know, like kind of. You got the Chris Mellin shot making way, but Chippy plays a lot of clever little recovery shots.
Yeah, it's quite subtle, and because he plays so quickly, it gets missed a lot.
Yeah, I like a lot of the recovery shots he plays. The classy and nice touch.
Yeah, and nicely flew through that finish and has tied the scores up 2 frames all here in the semi-finals. And let's just drop back to Jamie Bett and Tom Jones, see if Tom can put the finishing touches to that big break, put himself on the edge.
Tester, top right. Match ball here, you would think, for Tom. Top right twice across the cue ball. Oh.
Not the best bit of cueing.
No. That was more of a feel shot, wasn't it? As opposed to an aggressive cueing type shot.
Chance for Jamie to get back into the match then. See if he can turn it around. He'll be breaking next if he can counter clear there. Back to our match, 36 minutes left. And Shaun very happy breaking off at 2-2. Oh yeah, hit them. Well, they just exploded on him.
Did you see what happened there? The corner ball of the pack went into the bottom right, I'm sure of it. Yeah. Well, they're racked up. They're not racked up correctly.
Not sure. I don't think it went, did it?
Yeah, the corner ball went straight into
the bottom right.
Yeah.
No.
How does that work?
It did come across that front ball as well, but the power, that just exploded incredibly.
Well, Richard can start racking them for me if you make the wing ball.
Yeah. Has he nudged that yellow out enough? Looks tight.
Well, if he potted the red in the middle and went reds, though, he was a certainty to break into the cluster, wasn't he? He's got it to do now. Maybe back into it again. Yeah, I'd like to see that opening shot again, because the red looked like certainty to to open the cluster as opposed to the yellows.
Yeah, in a world of hurt now because of it.
Yeah, he's got to bail out now, you'd think, in some fashion. Obviously, with these international rules, it's so hard to bail out, isn't it? You kind of, once you go, you go. I really would like to see that first shot.
Certainly not happy. Still work here for Tom, but the red that's safe is next to a ball that's in the open, so should be able to control getting it out.
Yeah, there's a couple of options here, hasn't he? I mean, he can even play the red centre and then red top right and screw into the bad ball.
Let's make your mind up time.
The clock's ticking. Well, he's no option now.
So let's have a look. This is the first shot that Shaun had.
I mean, red in the centre, isn't it?
Yeah, straight into it.
Red into the centre and develop the red, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah, now we're looking back at that replay, it's hard to see the case for yellows.
He's got to be a bit careful he doesn't get the double kiss here. He wants to kind of catch the top of the red, doesn't he? Otherwise that happens. I actually couldn't see how that wasn't going to double kiss, to be quite honest with you. That was why I kind of liked the cannon from the top right hand corner red as opposed to that one.
Coming into it from a much better angle.
Yeah. But he doubles the balls very well, Tom, so you'd think if he gets on it something like...
Is he a little short or has he just got there?
I think he's just okay. Because he wants to screw the ball out of there anyway, doesn't he? I think he's just okay. Too good.
Yeah, straightened it up.
Straightened it up too much.
It's a pretty good leave in terms of the yellows on, but Shaun will just be happy to get another chance at the table.
Well, there's a couple of options here. He can either just drop in behind it, like that. I think that was the safer shot. He could have played it a little bit braver and put the cue ball behind the 8 ball, but probably didn't feel the need.
The advantage of putting the cue ball behind the 8 ball is the yellow's more in the middle of the table.
Yeah, yeah, and he could have used the yellow as a blocker as well, but I don't disagree with that.
Especially as he pots so well down the cushion, it's not too bad.
Yeah. You don't often see this from Chippy, do you? How's about that one then, look?
Yeah, that is a rarity.
Wow.
He is very aggressive.
Ask him about that one after the match.
He could easily go there. But deciding to wait a bit, gives him an opportunity to bump a yellow off the cushion. And even if Tom gets out of this, he should have a better opportunity. That's his thinking.
Unless he pots it off the back of the yellow. It's a great hit. All you could really do is ask the question. It was a good hit.
Nice pot in position there, just a little bounce. Yeah.
That wasn't one of his best. I think he needed to dig into that and he didn't really want to.
No problem, just pump it in and go twice across.
Yeah, just slap it in like it's a hanger.
Oh, another fascinating frame. The frames with twists in do really seem to carry a lot of value.
I think that's one of Chippy's best assets. I think he plays the game in a way that he just takes what the table gives him and sort of thinks, well, I'm supposed to pot this anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas a traditional pool player there might be feeling that they're supposed to be on it better than what they are, and then miss it because of that, you know.
Yeah, it's a really interesting point. Yeah, it's been a very intriguing opening 5 frames of pool. I feel like the scoreline could be anything the way it's gone. Just having a look at the semi-final in the Challenger Series. Connor Tracy now 4-3 up over Kyle Coe.
6 frames. Tom Cousins to break. Trailing 3 frames to 2.
Change of sides for Tom. Better. Oh, it was better.
Ball in hand from Bull.
This match has really got away from Tom since he scratched in the middle to go 3-0 up out of nowhere. He could be 40, you know, he's supposed to go 3-0 up, and any minute now could be 4-2 down.
3-0 up and the break.
And the break, yeah.
You feel like this is Shaun Chipperfield's moment, then moment to seize a little bit of a foothold, go a break clear, 2 frames clear.
Well, these are all there, aren't they?
There's John McAllister, new Ultimate Pool professional, watching on. He'll be in action tomorrow, watching Connor Tracy, good friends with Connor.
Well, he can go any way he wants here, can't he, to be honest? I think I'd play middle, corner and float across in between the 8 ball and the red ball here.
See if Shaun agrees.
I'd definitely be playing in them. I'd definitely be playing middle here. Just leave the natural 1 rail just to come across.
He's going to get the red cleaned. Making sure nothing untoward happens here. Very good. 2 clear. Match really has changed.
He looks sharp, actually. It's the sharpest I've seen him for a while. He's another one really that hasn't really quite looked at the races the last few tournaments. You know, a bit kind of going through the motions.
There is an element with Shaun though that because he plays so quick, it looks like he's not caring, and so when he loses, it looks maybe more rash than it really is. Although I'm not saying I don't agree with you, I do tend to agree with you a little bit.
But I mean, I watched him play Carl Boys here in, I don't know if it was the quarters or whatever it was, and Shaun looked like, you know, he couldn't make a ball, but he actually looks sharp here. You know what I mean? He looks like the player that, you know, we've seen win the world title in 16. You know, he looks on it. You know,
for the focus and the fact that he was the patience to waste a visit on the previous frame.
Yeah. It looks.
I don't think he'd have played that shot, whether it's the right shot or not. I don't think he'd have played that shot 2 tournaments ago. They're exploding for Shaun.
Tell me that ball hasn't gone in that bottom right-hand corner again.
We'll have a look. So you're thinking the bottom right-hand ball, yellow straight in.
Watch this. No,
it's the red.
This time. Not this time.
It's the second red, isn't it? So
there was almost a real big steward's inquiry.
Yeah. It's just they're exploding so much. They're flying in.
He's hitting them well though, isn't he?
Yeah, I noticed that earlier on the weekend. I think he's hitting with more power than I've seen him.
He's actually looked there to see whether he's going to play the 8 ball into the centre last. So he's fancying getting to the back rail. I like his demeanour around the table. I've not seen this from Shaun for a good while. He looks very, very confident.
It makes him very, very dangerous.
Yeah, he's slightly decelerated on that one though. Cue ball's gone through a fraction further than what he wanted. He wanted to be straight on this. Slightly decelled, which is why the yellow only just reached the pocket. He needed to be straight, or if anything, fractionally the other side of the yellow. Now he's got to kind of pump this with running side. How's that for confidence? Absolutely smashed it in. But he's on the wrong yellow. This was his last yellow, really. Oh, good shot.
Very nice, opens up the pocket for the 8 ball.
That was a nice shot. Chippy's on one here.
You feel like Tom's allowed him into the match and he's grabbed it.
Yeah, big time. But he's on one, don't worry about that.
Yeah, 5-2 in front now. So 5 straight frames. 5 straight for Shaun Chipperfield. Absolutely flying.
Well, we did the commentating on the Gareth and Dunster match last night, and we said the kick and the kick of the yellow into the middle pocket.
Frame 3.
Frame 3 was the turning point, and we've had our frame 3 turning point here, I think.
Yeah. Quickly jump across. Connor Tracy now 5-3 in front of Kyle Coe. At the table now on reds, so if he can find a loss or turn or a safety here, he'll hold the advantage. Big moments for all these 4 players in the semi-final of the Challengers.
Turnover shot here is as good as one, hasn't he? Pick the bounds out of that.
Yeah. Should win him the match, or give him the opportunity to win the match, unless Kyle can come up with something special here.
Oh, he's played one of Mellins. Give it a good whack.
Yeah, nearly worked.
He might get in the Guardian for that.
Mind you put together a finish today that might get into the Guardian. That was something pretty special.
Nobody seems to record mine though, Simon.
Oh, it's in the memory bank. I'm sure that'll be flying. You don't have as many of them because your cue ball's better.
Well, just waiting for my viral.
Yellow ball's in
Right
play.
then, Thomas.
Needs to try and wrestle something out of this and get back into this match.
Need to start potting a few.
Work these through really nicely.
If Tom was any more laid back, he'd fall over, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it's just having a casual, friendly knock, isn't he?
Yeah, it's just
not a major final. Just floats around the table. Job done. He's on the board. First frame in 6 for him. He'll feel a lot better for that one. 5 frames to 3. Well, that frame we were looking at before Tom made that clearance. Connor Tracy has completed the win in that frame, and he is into tonight's Challenger final. Still waiting to find out who he will be playing in that Challenger final. In fact, we know it's going to be Tom Jones, who's also completed victory over Jamie Burnett. Happened pretty much simultaneously. So Connor Tracy versus Tom Jones for the first Challenger event. Big night for both those guys now. And that'll be on around 9:45. It's the third match on, so we'll have our two semi-finals here for the pro event, then we'll have the Challenger final before we have the pro final.
Leading 5 frames to 3.
Wow. Wow.
His breaks got better. The further into the match we go, he's got cueing and he's really getting through it.
Yeah, and he's been a little bit hard done by here. Looks like he's got very limited options. Of course, in the international rules, you can't play the yellow onto the red to get started. So he can count himself a touch unfortunate there. So a couple of options. He's got a very difficult long ball on the reds. I don't like reds. Would he play the yellow onto the red and screw the white ball across and pot the yellow over the corner? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Would he then be on your yellows?
Yep. You'd be yellows because you're playing a yellow, so you can screw back and pot the yellow.
Yeah.
The red going in is fine.
That was an option then, wasn't it? He could have actually played the yellow onto the red and potted it and screwed the white ball across onto the yellow over the pocket.
Yep.
Like he actually played a good shot, but he's still got like all the work in the world to do, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was trying to get further to the right there so he could be on that one at the top of the table.
They might have missed a bit of a trick there. And it's Shaun's type of shot as well, isn't it? That kind of classy shot-making shot.
Yeah, and if he played it, it would have, all things being equal, it would have been another yellow over a pocket for him.
Oh, well, it was basically the 8-ball, wasn't it, for either player?
Yeah.
Effectively, it was the 8-ball.
He has got to work hard from here.
Yeah, but he might have wanted to start this rack again if he could. He may have to draw into this, Addy, or what's going on here, Simon? What's happening?
Needs us to travel. He's about a foot short.
Yeah. I wondered if there was half an argument to actually screw that with a bit of reverse side and maybe trying to get into them at the top there.
Oh, some shot he's looking at here. Cushion first into it. Wasn't far away.
No.
He'd have been on the other red, albeit from distance.
But that's where kind of sometimes you feel like you've sold out, don't you? Because it's 5-3 and Tom's got absolutely nothing to do here to go 5-4. And when you're in the one in front, you always feel like you want the person chasing you to at least do some work.
Yeah.
You know, but I know it doesn't always happen that way.
Do you think if, yeah, obviously Shaun didn't see the shot you were suggesting, but if that shot's not available or you didn't see it, then do you think that a safety option may be the way to go and almost ask Tom to take on a tough finish?
I think if he'd have seen that shot, I think he would have played it.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, he never shies away from the big shot. But as I said, I mean, he hit the break so well, he can feel really hard done by that. He's like stuck with virtually no options of taking the better set.
Now back to back for Tom. Back within one and the break.
Yeah, and in all truth, it feels like, from a spectator point of view, like Chippy's played all the pool. You know, it feels like he's the one that's played the pool. And Tom's sort of like kind of just somehow just hanging on in there, you know, since the mistake at 2-0.
It does feel like that. Shaun's looked very strong in this match, but only one in front from all that hard work.
But you know, one of Tom's greatest attributes is his temperament. You know, he's not easily fazed. You know, he's just kind of just goes about his business, doesn't he? And you know, and plays the game.
Yeah, each frame onto the next frame, isn't it? Change of sides again.
Didn't hit them great. Oh, Thomas.
A little bit of help.
You lucky devil.
Oh,
look at those yellows.
Oh.
Starter tricky. Just fiddly little one. Supposed to pot it, but can miss it. You'd think he'd play the one that he's nearest to. Doesn't like it though. He's going to play the long one, I think. Which one would you play here?
I was with you. I straight away was the only one I was even looking at was the one he was nearest to.
Would you play the one nearest to you, or would you play the one top left?
Oh, the one I'm nearest to.
Yeah, me too.
More controllable for me. I just, and it's same level of pot as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, we'll take that though.
Yeah, I don't think he could really ever go wrong, but and I certainly wouldn't disagree with you. Frame ball this, I think. Yeah, cued it nice. So it looked like he wasn't going to make a ball. Somehow gets one bottom right, and now we're 5 each. What a brutal game this is.
Yeah, and all Shaun's had is that tough chance off his own break.
Well, on another day, it's 6-4.
Yeah.
I was talking about Tom Cousins the other day. So one of the lads, you know, asked me what I thought of Tom's game and whatever. And I genuinely feel that no matter what era he would have played in, I think he would have been a top bracket player.
100%. Yeah.
I think he's got the game, you know, like to be there with, well, you know, the all-time greats that I would consider. Just because he brings a lot of weapons, you know, and he's a good temperament. He kind of plays the game in a way that he's really hard to shake off. Do you know what I mean? He's a real good player.
Yeah, it's great to see him showing it on the Ultimate Pool stage now. Very quiet middle of last year, but if he wins tonight, it'll be 3 titles in 6 weeks. And we are all square. Fascinating match. He lost 5 frames on the trot, now he's won 3. Very much in the balance. Following us, we'll see Phil Harrison taking on Simon Fitzsimmons to play the winner of our match in tonight's Pro 1 final, but it's also the Pro 2 going on as well. We've got a handful of last 32 matches that are now going to be going on stream tables 2 and 3. Dave Fernandez and David McNamara are in action here. So plenty of action on the side tables, but quite rightly our focus will be on the main feature table. 2 titles to give out tonight.
Come dressed for the occasion as well, mate.
Well, I thought I'd put a shirt on.
New snazzy watch as well.
Yeah.
Must be paying well, this gig.
Ah, you know, Ultimate all right.
Yeah.
11th frame, Shaun Chipperfield to break.
Oh, can Shaun keep up the big power now that he's been pegged back? Oh, mishit this one.
Wow.
Well, if Tom had a touch on the last one, Shaun's had it.
Still spinning.
Wow.
So that's how you make balls.
That's what you got to do.
Ah, I got it now.
I mean, look at that cue ball. Oh, and he knows it.
I got it all wrong. I thought you were supposed to crunch the front ball and control the white.
The miss it break works.
So that's what's been. That's what it is. Silly me.
To be fair, Mick, I commentated on your match earlier, and you miss it a couple of breaks yourself.
Oh yeah. I can miss it. I'm really good. Don't worry about that.
You got that break in the locker.
I can miss it. I can miss it. It's all that practice I do, you see. It means I'm timing it so well.
Just the one on the cushion to negotiate. Everything else in the open.
But it's funny how we've been watching somebody like Gareth all weekend crunch him like you wouldn't believe and not make balls. You know, it's like what an injustice.
Yeah, well, we've seen it all weekend long with all players really. Every now and then you see that miss-hit break when other players can't make a ball. No rhyme or reason really.
No, he's just got to mind his work here. I like the 2 at the top left and then stun across to the right-hand side. Personally, can't do that now, because if he stuns across to the right-hand side off this ball and plays the one next to the red in the centre or bottom left, he's naturally on the one on the right-hand side and naturally plays the one bottom right. Now he's got to cross-side himself on his line, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
He wanted to be playing the one in the middle of the table, the awkward one, into this bottom left, and stunning across to the one on the side rail from there. So he's I think he's made these a little bit tricky.
I think the one on the right, he tried to land straight enough on the one to the top right second shot to get straight on it, but didn't, and then hasn't been able to get back to it.
He'd love to be potting the red in the centre after he plays this. If he's not potting the red in the centre, he wants to mind his work here. That red could come and haunt him. He could snooker himself here. Ooh, just okay. Oh, nice shot.
Very good indeed from Shaun Chipperfield, having been pegged back. Excellent clearance following a scratchy break.
Yeah, good example again, you know, like kind of sometimes you can feel a bit like, why am I not on this ball a little bit better, and, you know, kind of overthink the idea, and he's a bit like, listen, I'm on it and I'm knocking it in, and that's that.
He does back his potting a lot. He just wants to leave himself shots, and down the cushions he's as good as anyone I've seen. He hammers them in.
Well, he's not necessarily playing like a traditional pool player would, but there's a lot of shots in his armoury that are of that ilk as well. Do you know what I mean? He's got a huge array of shots. And obviously supremely confident when he's feeling it.
15 minutes to go. Shaun Chipperfield 2 away. Tom Cousins 3 away.
Oh.
Needs a ball.
He didn't hit them great, did he?
Cue ball was tracking.
It was a bit top spinny, this, I think. Yeah, he didn't hit them great.
Still a huge number of balls into the top half of the table.
Yeah, yeah. But they're more kind of laboured up there, didn't they, really? Compared to how he usually hits them. Chippy would love this yellow to pass top left. He could come across the face of it and play top right if he wanted to play the yellows, though, into the same pocket.
He's having a very good look at it.
He could actually play this and play it in the same bag if he wanted. He obviously feels like he goes. He's had another little look. Ah, Chippy. If it was so tight, why not come across the face if he didn't play it in the same pocket? Yeah. He had acres of space to stun across. Play the yellow in the same bag. What a huge mistake.
I was a little bit surprised he didn't pay any attention to the reds, and you looked straight away at the yellows as well, but I felt like every red had a pocket.
No, I don't disagree at all. But there was, as I said, I mean, there was nothing stopping him playing the yellow in the same pocket that he played the first one, if it was even in any doubt of whether it went or not. That could be huge.
Yeah, 7-5 or 6-6 could hinge on that shot. Race to 8. Tom floating through these nicely enough, nothing in the way.
How big a moment could that prove to be?
We've all seen that pool script before, when you make a bad mistake and
Haven't we just?
you break off next frame and you come up dry and sit there cursing the shot you played.
Tom's bit betwixt in between here. Yeah, had to be the shot, didn't he? Took full advantage. Well, Chippy.
He needs to forget about it and put a good break on. And if he can put a good break on and run them out, then it's not forgotten, but he's looking forward and he'll only need one frame. If he breaks dry, he'll have plenty of time to think about what he's just done. Danny and Lees and Cormac Kerr are battling it out. This is last 32 from Pro Series 2. Dan's putting together some big performances over the last couple of tours and just starting to sort of make a name for himself, and just needs to turn those big performances into consistent runs.
Yeah, Wolverhampton lad has been putting a lot of time in of late. Starting to see the results. Young Cormac's really hit the ground running in the pro ranks, straight in.
Yeah, lost in the last 16 yesterday, but he was 6-2 up and ended up losing that match. He had a chance for 7-2, which he didn't take. But youngster coming over from Ireland, big talent.
Yeah, he's a confident lad as well.
Yeah. So a big break you feel coming up right now for Shaun Chipperfield. Huge moment.
13th frame. Shaun Chipperfield to break.
Last break he completely mishit, but got fully rewarded. What's he got for us this time? Better. Oh, it's going to be... Oh, wow.
Pool gods have decided.
Yeah, I said we've seen that script before.
Pool gods have decided they're not going to let him off with the last error. Look, kick. Look,
Oh,
look.
That's a tough one. That really is.
I mean, it would have been dry anyway, but still, difference between being dry and getting ball in hand. Yeah.
Tom's just got to make sure that over 50% of the ball is behind that break line. Not a huge amount of room, but
No.
referee on hand.
Well, he can play the yellow into the other corner pocket if he really wants to. He's got all the world to play the cue ball through the gap of the two reds to get position, you know what I mean?
He wanted to use that pocket. He's done it well.
Well, you say that, but he kind of wanted to be on the one to break into the 8 ball now, didn't he? Has he got that? Does he play the one in the centre and hit the red into the black and the yellow? Yeah. Oh.
He's okay. Just okay.
He'd like to be able to play the one in the centre though, wouldn't he? I don't expect him to miss the one to the top, but you can. Nicely played. Pool gods, Simon.
Yeah. They're there.
They're there for all those at home. They're real.
Because it's amazing, this game, because of the quality of breaking and the consistency of clearing, is that Shaun's sitting there hoping he gets another chance at the table.
It's a little bit careless.
If Tom runs these out, Shaun will need help.
It was a bit careless though, wasn't it?
15-second shot clock in play.
Easy enough. I know, that's a bit careless as well. I wonder how many people are on Facebook now typing away that Mick Hill's been talking about the pool gods.
Well, they know you love him.
Can you imagine now? Imagine how many people are like seething after a few pints.
Well, whether there or not, Tom got the opportunities in the last 2 frames and he has taken them. And Shaun has to sit there and wait because it's a Tom Cousins break coming up, and he is 1 frame away from a place in another final with ultimate pool. And even now, it still feels like Shaun's played all the ball, even at this stage.
Yeah, there's just, when you play Shaun's style, you know, you got to accept that there's going to be some brilliance, and there's going to be the kind of the odd, maybe needed a second look type situation, you know, and that's certainly not a criticism because I love the way he plays, but yeah, it just 1 or 2 shots he'd like to have back again, I think. If he watched it back.
Well, if Tom can find a break of his normal quality, this match could be over. We're into the 15 seconds a shot. 9 minutes 13 left. That can make things a little bit frantic out there. I was going to say that had to have a ball go in.
And look at those. Oh dear, oh dear. Shaun would be sick, wouldn't he?
Yeah, his heart will sink on that. We're looking at that thinking, where is there any problems? Where have I got hope? Not much. All these reds in the open.
Extension, Tom, if you want it. Oh, he's a smidgen shy. I think he's okay. He's got to just find the gap. He's got to find the gap. Played it lovely. Played it lovely. Can do what he likes here. Middle corner, middle looks the order of the day. Another fair performance. I don't, not at his brilliant best, but good enough.
Yeah, and you can still, I mean, yeah, there was that one glaring error in frame 3, but not a huge amount else.
No,
it's just
good enough. Definitely good enough. I think Chippy's had the chances to win the match, in all honesty.
Yeah, he'll be kicking himself. This will be a raw one for Shaun. But it is Tom Cousins in another final with ultimate pool. Took the chances that came his way. He was given just a little bit of help there in frame 13. He grabbed it and he ran with it. And he is in tonight's Pro Series final.